Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Purpose Driven Entrepreneur Show. I am Connie Benjamin, and I am so excited today to be speaking with Dannella Burnett. Oh my gosh, this lady is amazing. I got to tell you about her. So, Dannella is a successful entrepreneur, speaker, author, and CEO and founder of Encore Elite Events, a world-class event marketing and management company that really helps entrepreneurs and organizations to share their passion. I could honestly go on and on about her, but I want to tell you a little bit about what she's doing now that is so amazing that I'm so passionate about, because we work with a lot of speakers and coaches and authors and all of the things. You got to know Dannella. So she has this incredible Speakers Need to Speak that really helps purpose-driven entrepreneurs and speakers to share your message powerfully with the world. And she's got an incredible process around that. So without further ado, Dannella, I want to just dive right into our conversation. So welcome to the show. So grateful to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, Connie. And we both share that passion for helping speakers get out there further, faster, and getting on other people's platforms as well as creating their own. And that's really where I live and breathe, is getting experts out there.
Awesome. Okay, first of all, why are you passionate about this? Like, what started your desire to help? I don't know if we've talked about this. We've talked about things before, but I want to know the story. Why do you care so much about speakers and helping them to get on platforms and speak?
Well, it goes back a long, long ways. When I was 9, I found Julia Child on TV.
Yeah.
And this was before every other show was a cooking show. I found her and fell in love with her passion for serving others. And that led to me wanting to get a culinary degree and moving into catering. I've owned restaurants. I've been in the hospitality space literally since I was 15 years old. And it's been a journey since then. Hospitality led to producing personal events, weddings, reunions, things like that. That led to corporate events. That led to nonprofit events. That led to community events. Up to the largest event we've ever done was for 175,000 people for a 4th of July event. We've done parades. And then I landed squarely about 10 years ago in the speaker expert enrollment and fulfillment world. And honestly, it just brought everything that I've done to this point to where I am now, which is supporting speakers and experts getting out there. But it comes from that hospitality service, wanting to start with nothing but a vision and create something that's magical.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, that story is so good, and I know there's more to it, but I'm gonna hold myself back, Dannella, because you know how obsessed I am with this story. I could go for an hour just talking about your story, but I want to know. Let's talk a little bit about the challenges that speakers face, because I know you know that world so well. The work that you do really and truly empowers speakers. So, what is one of the biggest challenges that speakers face?
Well, as an event producer within the speaker enrollment space, we were regularly putting speakers into our events and our clients' events when we needed a subject matter expert or there was room for that perfect sponsorship match. So we had that dialed in and actually had quite a talent for creating that win-win-win combination between an event host, what was good for the attendees, what was good for an outside speaker or sponsor. Yeah. Well, we had more speakers saying, help me, can I get another? That was great. That was a good match. And for a long time, I did not jump on that. We stuck to, supporting event hosts. And if there was an opening for a speaker, great. But I didn't seek to support speakers at first. But, when enough people ask you the same question, at some point you want to take a look at it and go, well, what is their real challenge? From my perspective, there were plenty of speaking opportunities out there. Pre-COVID, it was a pretty general accepted rule of thumb that there were 7,000 speaking opportunities every single day in the United States. So it wasn't a lack of opportunities. So then, dig a little deeper. What is the challenge? Well, the challenge is speakers are busy, and that research part of the getting out there is not what they want to do.
Yes. So busted.
Done. You know, we saw when we really dove into what is the problem, what we saw was either speakers would look at their calendar, and if there wasn't opportunities on their calendar, then they would do the research. They would get some speaking gigs on the calendar. They would stop doing the things that put things on the calendar. And then eventually their calendar's empty again. They would start doing it. But you and I both know that kind of roller coaster in business always feels busy, but doesn't actually move you forward. Yeah. So that was kind of problem one. Okay, they're not doing it because they don't like to do this part. And so they stop doing this part or never really get started. The other challenge that we saw for speakers was, you know, when you're busy and you're a speaker, entrepreneur, speaker, business owner, there's 1,000 things you can do in your business every day. But reaching out to new speaking opportunities is very time consuming. And it's very easy to kind of get into a small circle and you're speaking and maybe you find out about one more event, maybe you find out about one more event. But if you never really reach outside of your circle, it doesn't take that long before you realize you're speaking to the same audience frequently. You're not really getting in front of new people.
Yeah.
So with those things in mind, that was really why we created Speakers Need to Speak, so that our speakers would have a system for consistently getting in front of brand new speaking audiences and not have to do that research part that honestly they either don't care to do or it's just too time consuming to do.
That's amazing. That's so cool. So give us some tips, Dannella. I mean, I know you're so amazing in helping speakers to get gigs, to really share impact and with the world and also increase profit. So what are some tips, some things that we need to know about getting gigs, about making sure those gigs are profitable as well?
Right. So a couple of things. I mean, super quick, I can give you 5 free ways that you can find speaking opportunities. They're going to cost you time, but they are going to get you those gigs quickly. The first is, you know, take a look at your network, take a look at all of the places that you have an association, and see if there are speaking opportunities. The other is social media. You can look at listings on social media as well as social media calendars, you know, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook. You can Clubhouse, big place to find speaking opportunities right now. Basically, you can create your own stage at any time just by opening up a room in Clubhouse. We have a Google method that we also teach our speakers for finding new speaking opportunities. And I always believe that speakers need to speak, but they also need to get paid. So the acronym that I use for using Google to find speaking opportunities is SALE, SAALE. So using that acronym to use keywords to find speaking opportunities. One is for speaking opportunity. That's what the S is for. Yeah. The 2 A's are for 2 different descriptors of your perfect audience. So it might be millennial professionals. It might be female dentists. It might be mature professionals. Whatever. You should have a laundry list of the descriptions of your perfect audience. So you use those in your keyword search on Google. And 2, I find works better than 1 to really get a targeted search and have the best opportunities come to that first page. L is for location. Even though most events are virtual right now, location is still important because we find that event hosts often have the most influence in the area that they're in. So while the audience might be even global now, virtually, there may still be a concentration of audience around that event host. So location can still be key, especially if you have a product or a service that you want more localized. So location could be a city, a state, a county, a country where you're looking for a speaking opportunity. And then the E stands for the kind of event. If you're looking for a smaller type of event, more workshop style, maybe you like a little more intimate speaking opportunity, use words like workshop, network, networking group, meetup. If you want to speak on a bigger stage, you might use words like expo or conference. So those are some free ways that you can find speaking opportunities. Going to cost you some time, but it won't cost you money to find them. And then, of course, you want to do the reach out, which is like any other reach out. You may have to follow up. You want to put your best foot forward. What I will say is when you're reaching out, no event hosts want the kitchen sink before they ask for it. Most events today do have a speaker's application. So like on our list that we provide our clients every month, we include that speaking application. When there is one, that event host is telling you that's how they want your information. So use the speaking application, and then you may follow it up, after a few days, after a week or so, with a friendly email asking if they're ready to make a decision or if you've gotten the speaking gig. And you may want to follow up by phone then. So you want to have all that information from your Google search or from your reach outs and follow up, and not giving too much information before it's asked for.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh, guys, do you have any idea how much Dannella just like unloaded for us? All these tips. You could take that and just run with it for the next week and book so many speaking gigs. In fact, I want to offer a challenge as you're listening to this conversation. Drop in the chat and tell us what are in the comments and tell us how are you going to apply this? What is one thing that you're going to do to get a speaking gig like this week to apply what Dannella shared, because it is absolute gold. Dannella, I know you're so incredible. I know you've got amazing events. There's so many things that you do. How do we reach out to you? How do we get in touch with you?
Well, if you're a speaker, I'd like to gift you something today. And part of that gift will end up getting on my calendar. It's speakersneedtospeak.com/giveaway. And when you go there, the first thing you're going to get is my 5-page checklist of all the things that you need to crush it from the stage. Whether it's a virtual stage, an in-person stage, hybrid, we're going to see a bit of that coming up this year. All the things that you need as a speaker to have in your arsenal before, during, and after the event to be positioned, profitable, and in the best light, ready to be prepared, positioned, and profitable. So that's the first thing you're going to get. The second thing you're going to get is an invitation to my calendar. And then let's have a talk. What can I do to help you be a better speaker? Do you need coaching? Do you need, is there a roadblock that you have? It's a personal speaker's assessment where we're going to tackle your biggest challenge, and I'm going to give you some action step to move forward. And then following that, you're going to get 100 hot speaking leads. This is a sample of what we give our clients on a monthly basis. So I'm not going to give you the newest one that we give our clients, but we are going to give you the next most recent one so you can see what kind of speaking opportunities are out there. And many of them are still very, very valid. Once you know who the event host is, you can find out when they have events now, in the future. They're very, very valuable lists. And the other thing that I'd like to, offer up for everybody is we have a speaking event coming up in just a couple of weeks. So speakersneedtospeak.com/event. I want to invite you to come and attend. We're going to have a speakers competition during the event with over $10,000 in cash and prizes and speaking opportunities. And you're going to get to share with a whole audience of other speakers and event producers what your point of view is. So I'd love to see you at our event. I'd love to find out who you are as a speaker and get you ready to make money.
I love it. Oh my gosh. As you're going through that gift, I'm like, is there more? Are you kidding me? Are you giving more of that? What? That's crazy. So good. So please make sure that you get that. Dannella is the real deal, an expert at what she does. Dannella, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing so much valuable information for speakers out there.
Thank you so much. Loved being here. Love to support speakers because your messages need to get out there. That world is a little bit broken, and I am firmly convinced that it is the speakers and the experts and the heart-centered entrepreneurs that are going to help us fix this broken world.
Absolutely. I totally agree, Dannella. I absolutely agree. You know how obsessed I am with purpose-driven entrepreneurs in this story. I truly believe that you have a message to share. Take action on what Dannella shared. Take action on what she's teaching you today. And I encourage you, as you take that next step forward, share your story because somebody needs that story and your message right now more than ever before. So thank you for joining us today. And until next time, let your fire light up the world.